It's the most wonderful day of the year. Day of the week. It's our Wednesday.
Hello, my lovelies.
How are you doing?
I'm fabulous now that I get to hang out with all of you.
So, hello everybody, and welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel, here in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Anyway, welcome to the channel. I'm here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We've got epic troll slayers that have kept us safe for years. And we have got a fantastic community because you have been so kind to each other and you've been so kind to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you are watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. The wonderful Miss Sarah will be time-stamping as we go.
Yes.
So you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works for you.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure I've got the picture pulled up for the first question.
Y'all, we're gonna dive right in. So I'm gonna have to leave a little early, but that's okay.
I'll be here.
Yes. So we're gonna dive right in at 1 minute 50. Y'all, JD Vance has spent the last 10 days holed up vacationing in an 18th century manor house in Dean, which is in southern England. This is his 8th vacation in 6 months, by the way. I'm just
eighth vacation in 6 months.
We pay for, because this is partly diplomatic and part vacation, which means it's a tax write-off because he met with a couple of MPs while he was there. So technically it's diplomatic.
How many vacations have you had in the last year?
None.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. In this last year, I have also had none.
Right. But this particular 18th century manor house, he's renting for nearly $11,000 a week. Dollars US. This is a small hamlet town that has been completely overrun by this visit because the Secret Service has shut down roads leading into town to create ID checkpoints. The Secret Service, the U.S. Secret Service, has put blockades on roads going into the town to create ID checkpoints, and has even gone door to door asking residents to verify their identity that they live there and to check their Facebook posts to make sure they're not anti-Trump.
Okay, also, and what if they were? You want to try to kick them out of their home?
Right. It's not even their it's like,
it's not your country. These are not your citizens.
Yes, exactly. In England, yes. So, Brits are throwing a stink.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the inevitable showdown between Vance and Jeremy. We were just talking about his name. Clarkson, yes. He lives nearby and he's filming a show, a thing about his farm. And he's now 2 weeks behind schedule because there's a no-fly zone that has been put over the area and he can't use the drones for the shots.
He's kind of the... He was Top Gear.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Think Gordon Ramsay of Cars.
That's what I was just thinking. He's the Gordon Ramsay of Cars.
Yes. But he's got that temper, so I'm waiting for that to pop off. Yes. So Brits don't tend to take things lying down, though. And groups have raised thousands of dollars. Groups like Everyone Hates Elon.
That's the name of the group.
Have raised thousands of dollars to rent vehicles showing his likeness on back of trucks.
Dun, dun, dun.
Not just his likeness, but
Oh, where is it? Add.
This
There we go.
likeness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This has been rolling through the Cotswolds, which is where Dean is. And in signs and windows. Yeah. And they're ready for the Vances to go home, which they're not going home until Friday.
Oh. That is glorious.
Kaludi, you might need to refresh, dear. I don't think we're frozen elsewhere, so you might need to refresh. But yeah, people are mighty ticked because this is. And we do get this gloriousness, though. Yes.
Yes, Rule Britannia.
Yes.
Well
God
done,
bless
UK. God bless you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Yes,
I know,
rolling through the Cotswolds. Yes.
They see me rolling, they hating.
Yes, they are. Very much.
We're very much hating.
Yes, so everyone hates
because he's corrupt and dirty, because they're corrupt and dirty, because they're corrupt and dirty.
So yeah, they're ready for the Vances to go home. So I didn't know where you wanted to go with this.
Yeah, this is, you're not welcome. You know, they didn't do this to Biden. They didn't do this to Harris. They didn't do this to, well, nobody did this to Cheney because I think they were afraid that something might happen.
Right. Oh my gosh, TJ says that the villagers there are angry because they've taken up every disabled parking spot at the grocery store.
No.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson. I really hope they run into each other somewhere. Because Clarkson does not care.
Oh,
he does not care.
No. He was old man yelling at clouds decades ago.
Yeah.
When he was, you know, in his 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that somebody around there hasn't gotten some kind of injunction. And the whole
but he's got the MP coming out to his to the rented house to illegally fish in the creek behind it because they didn't have their rods licenses. So he and the MP have been out there just hoot. So who's gonna?
No, get a judge involved. I mean,
well, yeah.
I'm surprised Clarkson hasn't gone to a judge and said.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too. I really am surprised.
He's on vacation. Everything's come to a stop. Secret Service. For this jerk. You know, he comes up as the King of Pentacles. Because it's not about MAGA, it's about the money. It's about the oligarchs, your Teals, your... But he's on vacation, and everyone is supposed to do because the fish has rotted. Not fish doesn't rot from the head. The fish has rotted from the head. So, yeah. Thanks for setting our special. What's the word? Ambassadors. Agree our okay, I cannot word today. I'm just
You're
gonna
good. Our special relationship,
our special relationship, our special bond. Yeah.
I think honestly though, I think they stopped expecting much of us after the election in that regard, unfortunately. But
everyone in the UK who can hear this, seriously, we hate him. You know what I like? You know what I like about Donald Trump? Nothing. I hate him with such a passion, with such intensity, that I have a diamond forming somewhere. I despise him. We despise him. Oh, Amy, bless you. Thank you
Bless you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Maybe he'll fall in the lake while fishing. Well, thank you so much, Amy.
We wish him the day he deserves.
Yes, we do. Yes.
All right. At 10:40, while we're talking about the Vances, Abby was wondering, and Abby, I took some liberty of rewording this a bit. Are we looking at a Vance divorce, and would he either do it or not do it, depending on how he was advised to try to gain the presidency?
Ooh. Okay. Oh yes, CC Ryder. Hello, Scotland bagpipes, pipers, Scotland bagpipers. And he tour stops through Dean, England, while they're trying to fish and do the thing. And
This is the same place like the Forest of Dean in Harry Potter. It's like, you know, the snatchers aren't going to just jump up and somebody just yell Voldemort like really loud and see if the snatchers will pop up and.
All right, you got your tea?
I've got my tea.
No, you need to grab your tea. Okay. I have coffee, but still. Okay, if you have your tea, Wisconsin. Okay, here's the thing. Thank you. We're going to talk about some gossip. This is not verified, but we work really hard to come up with factual news here. But occasionally, if we're talking about gossip or we're talking about something that's just spiritual, we make it very clear. I make it very clear. And this is a case where this is just gossip. Okay. But this is the gossip. The gossip is that there might be trouble in Fancy Pants Paradise. Because apparently, according to gossip, the two of them got into a fight at a restaurant. And whilst not all of it could be heard, what was heard was something to the effect of Usha Vance saying, "I did not sign up for this."
Oh, get him
money. And get him money, exactly. And it might have had something to do with him trying to run for the presidency, or what have you.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. Again, I tell you when it's just gossip, and it's just gossip, but
well,
I do not understand. I mean, maybe if he turned on the I'm sorry, I can't say it with a straight face. If he turned on the charm. The man can't order donuts. I mean,
Vance, right? Yeah, I know. He has no natural charm. Look, I'm not going to. Here's the thing. If Vance had a personality transplant with a decent human being, like a full, complete personality transplant with a decent human being, like we just remove, and replace. I mean,
what was the thing with the brain?
He's not a horrible looking guy. I mean,
no, he's not. He's not.
It's the mean that makes him just mean. You know what I mean? It's the evil. You know, as someone who sprang into, you know, who had her early 20s when emo was popular, I don't mind guy liner. So I mean, you know,
who cares?
So if you know, if he had a personality transplant, then maybe, you know, I didn't say he was like, I just said he's not a horrible looking person. I mean, he's not atrocious. It's the evil. The evil makes him. Yeah.
No. He's got the symmetrical features, and he's got the, you know, there are, you know, they've worked out a mathematical basis for what traditional kind
ideas. Thank you. I can't repeat that, but thank you.
Ideas in the flow. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, we can't repeat that, but thank you so much.
Yes.
But no, like if you did the math of how, if you learn to draw, one of the skill sets you pick up is that things like the width of your mouth most often is from your pupils down.
Mm-hmm.
The inner eye is the outside of your nose.
Right.
The width of this and that and the other, and
Right.
this is standard. It's
Right.
standard stuff. And he has some of that. When he gains a lot of weight, which we all do sometimes, he becomes, bless him, a little more Stay Puft Marshmallow than just the average. But it's not like,
he's not the worst looking Republican. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not
true.
I'm not whatever.
Physically.
Right.
But he's still vile.
Yes. But I said all that to say that the GOP, the very first thing they will do is pick apart somebody's appearance. They will come after somebody's appearance, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go after his appearance in so much that, because that's, I mean, yeah. If he had, like I said, if he had a full brain and personality transplant. Lordy help, Lewis. I love you. But that, alas, that would never happen. And the evils will continue to make him a caricature, basically, because he does it to himself. Yes, exactly, Carol. Exactly. It's the evils. But he has no charm. He has no charm.
Zero.
As Fancy says, would say, he has negative aura.
Negative aura.
He has negative aura. So
zero riz.
Zero riz. Well, it's Skibbity Ohio riz. Yes. Skibbity Ohio riz.
Somebody has teenagers.
Yeah. Oh. But
yeah,
aura is like, just your for your lesson today, aura is like game. Back in the day, we'd say somebody had game. Now they say aura. He has negative aura. So yeah. I'm sorry I interrupted you. You were saying?
No, you didn't. You didn't. He's just. Oh yeah. Oh, she's hanging in there. This is what we're reading on, right? Those two?
Yes.
Because it's all about Dumpy. And he hated Dumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Luce was concerned, she thought they had a happy family. And then he becomes a sycophant. And it's galling. If anybody had any reason to sit through the press conference for when Trump had Bondi take control of the police in D.C., I mean, what I saw of it was bad. But if you watch the whole thing, which I did on Hal Sparks, he couldn't stop laughing. He was laughing his way through the whole thing because it was so bad. And these people were such suck-ups. And that's got to be the humiliation factor on that. And she's like, okay, I'll just stay home with kids. We'll just keep this. But no, there's insult to injury. It's putting a strain.
Imagine giving up that kind of law career and that kind of promise. I mean, like, she interned for SCOTUS. Imagine giving all that up for Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Yeah.
Mr. Negative Aura Skibbity Ohio Riz.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Carmen, who's the pupper?
Yeah.
What's the pupper's name? Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
I would have. Yeah. Oof. All right. So moving on from Vancedom. Thank Jesus. Unfortunately, we're going into worse. So sorry.
Okay.
All right. Trump is allegedly looking for a big distraction from the Epstein files and has been asking everyone he could think of for ideas. Do you?
Oh, did he try calling Epstein again to offer him a job?
Supposedly going after NYC mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani didn't work how he's wanted, so he's got boots on the ground at NYC. Reportedly, the next plan would be for us to...
Entertainment only, YouTube.
Yes.
Entertainment only.
Yes.
According to the Independent. Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
No, you're good. Reportedly, the next plan... This is why I've got in here allegedly, supportedly, and reportedly. We've got a bunch of edleys for entertainment only. So, reportedly, the next plan would be for us to fully pull out all support away from Ukraine if this doesn't work, so he can try to appease the MAGA base in some way. Because the MAGA base does not want us in Ukraine, and they're also yelling. So basically, he's like trying to tit for tat with them. Will he be successful in creating a distraction?
By the way, the pupper's name was Bo.
Joe.
Or the Precious. So, no. I've just got all of this reaction coming at me of like, no. We're not letting this go. We're not. And even under the desk, even she was reporting this morning about Goulet having the same designation as Epstein when he got that sweetheart deal where she has it's all tied custody. Yeah, custody out. And he thinks he can come up with something to change. He's okay. To my happiness, thank you, Bern. To my happiness, he really is very frustrated, which, as far as I'm concerned, he should be. May that man never have a cool pillow on either side as long as he lives.
I'm assuming there's some indigestion with all that evil too. The sulfur?
That's
right.
You would think.
Yes.
Yeah. With the amount of damage he's done and trying to come up with some stupid plan. But if he has to throw material things at it, big shiny. Look at the shiny. Jazz hands. So there's that. But this is my card of evidence. And he wants an ending. Well, sort of, as in the world card, as in women, as in emphasized. Page of Wands. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. And I know somebody's actually done the math on the number of people who have been in both of his administrations who have been accused or convicted of, let's say, acting incredibly badly towards women. The number's not zero.
Yeah.
So he's still looking for distraction, and we want our country back.
Yeah.
This isn't a front. This is Look, okay, please don't take this the wrong way. And I am not accusing this man of anything under the sun. I'm not, okay? I've never heard anything bad, but I always thought it was hysterical. that back in the day, Duran, let's just say they partied a lot and even bragged about partying a lot. And so I've always found it hysterical that Simon Le Bon got married and he had, it's either 4 or 5 girls.
Oh, yeah. Karma. That is karma with a big K.
I always thought that was hysterical. Now, I'm not saying he's ever done anything untoward. I'm just saying I always thought that was just hysterical. These people.
Continuing in this vein, an early morning post from Trumplethinskin hinted at a possible deal with Russia being discussed this Friday. What deal? Then again, he still thinks St. Petersburg is called Leningrad.
34 years.
That's right next to the big head photo if you want to pull that up. If you don't,
that's is it? Yeah, no. I'll pull it up. It's really small. The picture itself is very small. Yes, please keep in mind, Leningrad became St. Petersburg in 1991 or something?
Yes.
So 34 years ago. And he's still calling it Leningrad? Hello, sweetness. Where are you going?
Very unfair media is at work on my meeting with Putin, constantly quoting fired losers and really dumb people like John Bolton, who just said that even though the meeting is on American soil, Putin has already won. What's that all about? We are winning on everything. The fake news is working overtime. No tax on overtime. If I got Moscow and Leningrad free as part of the deal with Russia.
Leningrad free?
The fake news would say that I made a bad deal, but now they've been caught. Look at all the real news that's coming out about their corruption. They are sick and dishonest people who probably hate our country, Big C. But it doesn't matter because we are winning on everything. MAGA! If I got Moscow and Leningrad free as part of the deal with Russia, not a deal, but the deal, the fake news would say that I made a bad deal.
You know what?
Amy, yes. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. No, I was just trying to think it through. So, can I make a deal and get Constantinople?
Right. Nobody's business but the Turks. Now that song's in my head because he's
sorry.
Yes, Sharon, because he thinks that only St. Petersburg is in Florida.
Yeah. So yeah, Leningrad and Constantinople.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's going to go. I'm still not entirely convinced he understands that Alaska is part of the U.S. But he's going to Alaska to talk about someone being around and it lowering the vibe of the area. Those two people in the same place is going to be spiritually, it's going to be like the Tuskegee. No, not Tuskegee. What was the thing in Siberia where the asteroid blew up around 1917?
Oh, I don't know. That Chernobyl works too.
That's true. That's true. Not Tuskegee. But those were the airmen.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for. The thing in Russia, anyway.
Where the permafrost and the thing and the
Tunguska.
Tunguska. Yes.
Tunguska. Thank you. Tunguska. Thank you. Sorry. My brain just went to the wrong. Again, I haven't looked at my chart today, but I'm sure my Mercury is on the struggle bus. So we're reading on the deal. What deal?
Yeah. What is? I hope they're evacuating Juneau right now. Because there's a lot of floodwaters that are about to come through because the glacier thing is coming through and it's too warm and there's a lot of water. So they're evacuating Juneau right now. Can they go to Juneau? The whole capital city waiting for them. They like capitals. Letters. Cities.
He uses those all the time because he likes to pretend he's German.
Yes.
What deal?
Yeah.
No. What deal? Zelensky has not been invited, is my understanding.
Yeah.
And Trump's already talking about Ukraine having to give up land. And Zelensky has already come out and said, no.
Thank you, Brianna. Glacier, not iceberg. Thank you. Sorry, I misspoke. Brain. Bloop.
It's seriously. I know Mercury's direct again, but anyway. And my Mars sits on your Mercury. So if I'm messing up, chances are I'm messing you up. I'm sorry.
It's a loop.
It's probably my fault.
Here we go.
Blue and yellow. Ukraine can tell Russia to go whistle.
Yeah.
All of this pain, all of the work that's already been put in, and they're going to come up with the plan. Really? Because there's a tower right in the center of this. And then, the plan. Yeah, if you go along with this extremist, cult-like garbage, and they're not going to because Ukraine is coming up as get stuffed. Russia.
Right.
And Trump.
I've
read on this multiple times on this thing on Friday, day after tomorrow. And it's like, whoa, and then it just like peters out.
Well, I do, now that I brought that up, and I don't want anybody to think that I did that callously because that was not my intent. I do, if we could, because that whole thing is scary. Imagine like a whole glacier just rolling through your hood, unprompted. Well, I mean, the part of it comes through anyway. I don't know all the specifics. It's just worse than it's supposed to be. So if we could, can we take a second and send some good energy to the area around Juneau and everybody affected there? May they be safe. All right. Yes. Okay. So, y'all.
Tishy just said we are on the dumbest timeline. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's a y'all. It's a baby y'all, but it's still it's more of a for real. So it looks like Ivanka is heading back to the White House.
Oh, God, no.
If only to be the chief coordinator of the UFC fight on the front lawn during the America 250 celebration. How bad is that going to be? Unfortunately, it's not going to be between Marge and Loomer as of right now.
Okay, just hit me what you just said.
Yes. So, how bad is
Oh
this
my
gonna
gosh,
be?
we can't even repeat. I can't even
Oh,
repeat. We
no.
can't repeat the
No.
things they've been
Mm-mm.
saying about Loomer and MTG have been saying about each other publicly. Ooh.
Okay, so you know when Michelle Obama said when they go low, we go high. Well, Marge went low and Loomer went to Hades. Like Dante down, 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 down level of hell. Loomer is a loser, but Loomer's good for a good comeback. I mean, yeah. So, anyway, but how bad is this going to be?
I was having a quick look at the news app that I read every morning because I noticed it's not coming up now, but last week, an article about Ivanka came up. It's the same article, came up several times, which is odd.
Yeah.
Because I didn't click on it in the first place, and then it was like there the next day, and then it like showed up at some other point. I'm like, and the article was something about how or why Ivanka got her. It was something so gross, like banging revenge bod or something, and I'm like, what
That's
the?
that's yuckadoo.
And I was like, scroll.
Y'all, I'm not gonna repeat. Wait, y'all, wait. I hadn't heard the Arby's thing. Y'all, stop. It's a
Warrior witch.
I can't. Trailer grease. Oh dear. y'all. Whoo, Lord, the Arby's.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay,
It's okay. You're
Okay.
probably
okay.
you're
I don't want to read on this woman. She's ick.
I know.
I mean, here's the thing. Ivanka's a narcissist like her father. The difference is that deep down, Donald has had enough life experience that really, really deep down, he knows what a nasty piece of work he is. He knows that he is a bad person. Ivanka never had to learn that.
Mm-mm.
There was no point in her entire life where the world was not formed around her to be a certain way. She is vile. Well, I mean, there's not a lot here. I mean, it ends with the institution. Not a lot
there either, but I mean,
that's true. That is 100% true. Communication, okay. She hasn't been around. Excuse me. But there's her father and the Republican stuff and yeah, thing, and there's the government. It's just kind of meh. I mean, unless she decides to do something more, but she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And so why should she?
Yeah.
And I hope I never have to read on this woman again as long as I live, because she's disgusting.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump in for one more question here at 39:40. Margie has a question. What are the DEMS up to? Is it watch and wait for it to implode time, or like what's going on?
Well, they're excuse me, Democrats in Texas have left the state to stop redistricting. There are various people in U.S. Congress who are demanding to see the Epstein files, who are doing what they can, everything they can, to fight back against the heinousness. They're they don't have that many options of what they can do.
Right. Hands are tied.
Yeah. But yeah, I can understand the frustration. And unfortunately, right now we're not in a position to okay, there's dumpster fire. And because I get really upset about people who voted for third parties or who didn't vote. I get really upset about that. I mean, it's bad enough people who would vote for this monster. And I know there are people out there who are supposed to be like low information voters. I cannot wrap my head around how anybody could just swan through these years and be like, yeah, I don't pay attention to politics. What? I mean, I don't expect anybody to be as deep in it as I am and as deep in it as I've dragged you. But there's dumpster fire. Republicans trying to knock things over. Republicans have the control. And part of it is they're kind of doing their own work to undermine their own positions, burdened under what they're doing to women, what they're doing to the country. So to some extent, it's a combination of one, we only have so much power. Mm-hmm. But two, to some extent, it can be better for us sometimes to actually step back out of the way and let them fall on their faces. Let them be held accountable when SNAP benefits disappear, healthcare disappears, there are no doctors, there is no help, there is no... And you can't blame the Democrats for that.
Lord, they'll try though.
Of course they'll try, and of course some people always believe it. But I'm getting from the cards a sense of, there's a certain amount of take a step back.
Yeah.
But there's only so much we can do for now, and that's why we're here every day, and there's a community here, and this community is here every single day. And we can talk to each other, and we're going to get through this together, because we're not alone in this. Mm-hmm. We're not alone in saying no to the heinousness. But you need to leave, my friend.
I'm going to timestamp and read this next question. And
okay.
Then as you start to pull on it, I'm going to step out. So at 43:50... up here, so we can save. Okay, so the White House notified the Smithsonian, I've saved, that it needs to review, quote, all content at the museum, all 21 locations of it, and also demanded a full catalog of all exhibitions, including traveling shows, as well as a list of all day-to-day operations, budgets, and strategic plans for the next 3 years. White House officials want to make sure the museum is embracing, quote, unity, progress, and enduring values that define the American story. They are demanding...
They already were.
I know. Exactly. They are demanding that the museums all reflect Trump's executive order restoring truth and sanity to American history. 61% of Smithsonian funding comes from Congress, which is why it's free to go in. And it also is why Trump can say anything about anything, because the government funds 61% of it. So the question is, what will ultimately happen? I'll see you
Take
later.
care. Thank you for being here. Okay, and let me do this so we still have smart. Okay. Well, now, because this is kind of related to the last thing on here, or the second to last thing on here. One of the first things Trump has decided to do as active chairman of the Kennedy Center is host this year's awards and vowed to honor himself next year. So the Smith, but back at the Smithsonian, so they need to put up a huge display on the Donald Trump books, My Struggle by Donald Trump. Weaponized incompetence. Yeah. Here's the thing. The truth is the truth is the truth. There are no, sorry, Kellyanne Conway, there are no alternative facts. No. Facts are facts are facts. Period. Anyway, look how pathetic these cards are. Page of Pentacles. Oh, you mean this thing? Oh, you want this moved or put in or taken out? This thing here? Yes, you absolutely have got to put that thing in or take it out. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. We'll just tinker with it a little. And as that person walked away, leaving this unfinished, oh, well, I guess we'll just have to put the cup back in there to make sure it's finished and moving on. These are weak cards of dragging your feet and yeah. Yeah. I'm not picking up a huge amount of innate support. I'm for some reason I'm picking up that it's possible that the Smithsonian is not a MAGA stronghold by nature. So Veronica says, when is he going to replace the Statue of Liberty? Well, yeah. But do we really want to see him in a toga? Ew. Chris Cole says more weak cards, more distraction. Well, there's that too. But really what I'm picking up on is the people at the Smithsonian just being like, oh, you want this over here? Oh, yeah, I'll see if I can put it. Oops, it keeps falling. Yeah, I'll work on putting this. Oh, sorry, that kind of thing. So anyway, then let's go straight down at 4930. Let's go straight down to the Kennedy Center thing because what? 4930. Thank you for being here. All right, one of the first things President Dumpster Fire has decided to do as active chairman of the Kennedy Center is to host this year's awards. I will bet you a bright shiny nickel he's going to physically walk off with at least one of the awards, if not more than one. Not awards given to him, or maybe, but no, it's a given. It's a given. He's a kleptomaniac. He's a political kleptomaniac. Narcissist. Scumbag. So that's truly be. Someone needs to build a labyrinth. Fill it with fool's gold trinkets. Put Dumpy in there. Keep him busy for weeks. That's true. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, warrior witch. I'm sorry. That's the image I got. So, and so surprised he hasn't taken the Hope Diamond. I know, right? Although, considering its reputation, do it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. Do it. Take it. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you. So, 3 cards. He's so pathetic. Deb says give him a fake Nobel Prize. Yeah. Thank you. There's so little here. He wants a distraction. That would be an award show. And there's the star. And they're celebrating. And then he has to walk away and go back to the reality of what a heinous human being he is. Congratulations to the actual winners. That's it. All right. And I like to leave on a lighter note, but Bridget had such a good question, and I want to make sure we get to it. At 52:15. 52:15. Will any states withdraw from the SNAP program? Because here's the thing. California could decide they pay so much more into it than they get back. California could decide, you know what? We're done. We're going to do our own program in our own state. Illinois could say, you know what? We're done. We'll do it in our own state. Now, it isn't always that simple. I mean, Chicago isn't almost always in terrible financial straits, but still. Our states are going to start withdrawing from the SNAP program. And not in any hurry. Card for the reading, Fool. First card, Emperor. They go together. This is helping others. This is a partnership, but this is far right trying to stir things up. 6 of Cups, again, helping. And then decisions. See, here's the thing. I live in Chicago because my family's here. I like Chicago. I really like Chicago. But I'm here because my family's here. And moving to a new state, I've done it many, many times. But if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I would just, and I plan on just staying here for the rest of my life. Hello, sweetie. No, where's the blankie? Here, there you go. There you go, sweetness. So, but being outside of a blue state is pretty brutal. So, Lewis says, where would you like to move? If I could Star Trek if I could Star Trek move, which is just boom, just go somewhere, live there for a while, and then boom, come back. I'd try to do the astrocartography. I'd try to there are only a few, there aren't that many places in the world where I've got good astrocartography, but I'd like to live in a couple of those places and see if it does just light up my chart or something. But I mean, that's a nice thought. And the reality is the policies are not. I'm not getting states jumping out of the SNAP program, as in stop paying federally for it. So Amy saying move to New York. Well, my astrocartography is good for Rhode Island. Yeah, that kind of area, and Anchorage. Yeah, it's I'm not getting that actually happening anytime soon, though. So there's big old temperance here. So yeah, and I don't want there to be any disruption, because people are going to suffer if there's disruption. But there's a point where you went on and on about states' rights, and there are blue states who could say, you know what? But anyway. All right. Deb Hope says Rhode Island in that corner of Massachusetts is lovely. That's what I've hear. Okay. Sandra Lee, how do you know? No. Astrocartography is its own thing. You could just go Google, look for some articles on it. So, Cass says Alaska is beautiful. That's what I hear. I even went on to yeah, I'm done with reading. I even went on I went on Google Maps, and I actually went to Anchorage, and I was actually looking around the different where things were. There's a vegan restaurant, so I wouldn't starve if I visited. And I was just looking around. Oh, okay, that's there. Oh, okay. So just walking around. Joyce says, can you talk about how things are going with your garden? Not as well as I would like, but what is growing has grown pretty big. I haven't harvested much, but my gosh, is there basil. The basil went insane. A squirrel dug up the catnip. Half of the potato plants there's 6 potato plants in their own bags. 3 of them are going gangbusters, and 2, maybe 3 of them are. So it's one of those kinds of things. The dwarf tomato plant I got was smaller than I expected, and it's been kind of overshadowed by some of the other things. But the bush variety mini eggplant plant is it's got flowers on it. It's got, for what it's worth, it's big and healthy looking. So yeah. Beekeeper Tara says basil does that. Easy to propagate too. Yeah. Joyce says when the plants die, the potatoes get harvested. Absolutely. Yeah. Rob says my basil's doing great too. I am glad. Yeah, I need to harvest some and run it through a food processor with some walnuts and some olive oil. Put it on some pasta. So anyway. Isabel says flowers and veggies are all suffering this year. Oh yeah, it's been absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. But all right. Mr. Dill, can you project yourself? Astral project? No. I'm in this body for the duration. Joyce says, don't worry, each year is different. My tomatoes were not good, but I got some cantaloupe. Oh, nice. Nice. Yum. Sassy Cat says, I love squirrels, but they're a menace. Yeah, it was one of only the tomato plants and that catnip plant were the only things that weren't covered with. Oh, that I gotta tell you, I have these raised beds, and they came with this fitted netting, and that netting, chef's kiss. I don't have bugs eating my plants. Nothing's dug anything up. It's been glorious. I will say that. So, yeah, the netting is just genius. And because of where they are, because it's in a south-facing area, the sun is just brutal on them in the summer. So it protects them if there's hail, and water still gets through very easily, and sunlight does, but it does create a tiny, like, they get like 20% less sun or something, which helps them. So, Dorinda says you can freeze pesto. Put tablespoonfuls on wax paper on a cookie sheet and freeze. Transfer to containers back into the freezer. Thank you. What a great idea. Because I have a lot of walnuts and I've got a lot of basil. Holy buckets. Veronica says someone ate all of my blueberries. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I got the raised bed with the netting because my parents, when they first moved into this house, they tried to grow some things over there. My mom was so mad. Well, they were both so mad because some animals had come along and they had taken a bite out of every single, at least one bite out of every single piece of what would be produce. So, Bridget says freezer basil and ice cube trays. There we go. Okay. All right. And Valerie made blueberry jam yesterday. Yum. Yum. All right. Well, that will do it for today. Thank you so much for joining. It is 1:19 p.m. here in Chicago. At 3 o'clock, Miss Sarah will be starting creative sprints, and I'll be over there as soon as I can. Kay says, what? It wasn't a taster garden? That was good. Oh, I didn't show you. I love these nails. It's like a green French nail with gold lines around the edges. So those are the nails today. Anyway, all right. Please remember you're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. There are. Even if it seems like there aren't, there are. So hang in there. All right. Yeah, and I'll see you. You're not alone. We're in this together. There are good days ahead. Remember, remember, remember. And the 6th of November, because it's my birthday. I'm kidding. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hang in there, and I'll see you later, as always. Okay, bye.